In the Quran Majid, the glorious Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has on numerous occasions mentioned the importance of displaying kindness, the best treatment towards your parents. And there is no other religion nor the deen which advocates, which promotes the importance of parents like the deen of Islam does. And undoubtedly, all Muslims believe, it is our firm conviction that the only truthful deen on this planet, this dunya, is the deen of Islam. All other religions, deen, adyan, they are batil, they are falsehood. And the previous religions, which were even correct, they all promoted the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the ones that the Ahl Kitab, the Yahud or Nasara, those adyan, those religions are no longer valid and they contain kufr, they are no longer relevant. So the only truthful religion is the deen of Islam. All other religions are incorrect. And this is why when we say the declaration of faith, we first begin with the negation. People say to be positive, but the declaration of faith, it begins with a negative. La ilaha, there is no one worthy of worship except Allah. So it begins with the negation. So we must declare that all other religions are falsehood, all other gods are false except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is how we enter into the folds of Islam. So if anybody would come into the deen of Islam, he will have to accept and acknowledge and have the conviction that his previous religion and that all other religions are falsehood, and that the only truthful religion is Islam. Otherwise he will not be a believer, he is not a Muslim. So this is the misconception that people may think that the Yahud or Nasara are believers. They are not believers, but they are rather kuffar. They are also kafirs, they are infidels, they are not believers. Only the believers this term can only be ascribed for Muslims and to Muslims. So in Surah Bani Israel, in particular, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that it is the decree of your Rabb, of your Lord, وَقَضَى رَبُّكَ, that you do not worship anyone except Him. So worship is only for Allah. We do not worship the Anbiya Kiram alayhimus salam. We do not worship prophets. If someone suggests that, then this is slandering. Such as the Najdi and Wahhabis, they say we worship the Prophet, but we do not worship the Prophet. We demonstrate reverence, respect, we don't worship him. We are required to, this is an instruction, a command by Allah, to demonstrate the most profound reverence and respect towards the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This comes under ta'zeem, and this does not come under ibadah. But anything that any command of Allah that we comply with, this is indirect worship of Allah. This is indirect act of worship of Allah because we are obeying Allah. So Allah is commanding that we not worship anyone except Him, and immediately demonstrating the importance of what He is saying, He mentions the importance of respecting our parents. Allah ta'budu illa iyyahu, that you do not worship anyone except Him. And wabil walidaini ihsana, and with your parents demonstrate ihsan, meaning the most excellent treatment must be demonstrated before them, in their court, in their presence, when we are with them. And this is how we must be extremely respectful and mindful of our words, of our actions. And then this will be obedience to the command of Allah, for which you will qualify for worship, and you will also be causing and giving your parents happiness, and to enter happiness into the heart of any Muslim. It is very rewarding after completing faraid. This is the most rewarding act, and you will be entering happiness, pleasing your parents by demonstrating the most excellent treatment towards them, and by complying with the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you will also qualify for their pleasure. So وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. So Allah elaborately explains in this verse, and this is something which we need to teach our children, especially the teenagers, because this is when they start to become rebellious. But they should be nurtured in this way and taught the importance parents have in the deen of Islam. If you want them to respect you, then you've got to teach them what the Quran says, what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said regarding parents. The Quran says that إِمَّا يَبْلُغَنَّ عِنْدَكَ الْكِبَرَ أَحَدُهُمَا أَوْ كِلَاهُمَا, that if they reach old age, one of them or both of them, then do not even say فَلَا تَقُلْ لَهُمَا أُفٍّ وَلَا تَنْهَرْهُمَا. Do not even say a single word of annoyance. Not even a single word of annoyance to them. So this cannot be an expression of annoyance. It cannot be a gesture of annoyance towards them, let alone saying a word. It is directly prohibited. So it is haram. The ulama have written it is haram to say even a single word, regardless of what your position is, whether you also have become a father or you've become a grandfather and your father is still alive. No matter what your age, he is still most respectful, and your parents are the most respectful for you, and you are still commanded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to demonstrate respect towards them, not even to say a single word of annoyance or anything which could lead to their displeasure. And do not shout at them. وَلَا تَنْهَرْهُمَا. We cannot raise our voices towards our parents. The ulama say, just as a servant stands before his master, this is how we are supposed to stand up for our parents when they walk into the room. And we should put in an effort to try and kiss their hands, kiss their feet, and you will qualify for reward and the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by doing this. We should not be shy and hold ourselves back in doing this, because one day when they are no longer around, you will be extremely regretful that I wish I had that opportunity and I could show respect towards my parents. And the Quran advises and commands us, وَقُلْ لَهُمَا, and say to them, قَوْلًا كَرِيمًا, words of kindness. And whenever you are conversing with them, then employ words of kindness. Be respectful, even if you think you need to advise them, because they may not be as qualified as you are. But remember that they are the ones who taught you how to talk. They are the ones who taught you how to walk. They are the ones who provided you with this education that today you are able to talk, you are able to walk, you are able to move around. You should not use your intelligence and your education to be rude in their presence. Yeah, this is extremely prohibited, and this is like biting the hand that feeds you. And I say that, just as a dog is loyal to his master, dogs are loyal to their master, then we become worse than dogs if we are rude and disrespectful to our parents, because they are like our malik. They are our owners. We are on their leash. To put it rightly, we are on their leash, and we are mamluk, we are their property. And these are the words, not my own words, the words of our master sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he said, Anta wa maluka li abika, that you and your wealth belongs to your father. They could easily just take out money from your pocket and use that money, dispense it, at their leisure. You would not be able to object. But today, we see that people, they talk to their parents like they are talking to their friend, like they are talking to their equal. How dare they do that? This is forbidden. And in some ways, the parents may be at fault, and this is because of ignorance, that they have not taught their children the manners, the importance of parents in Islam. So وَقُلْ لَهُمَا قَوْلًا كَرِيمًا.